for women, and this is my next question and answer segment where I took your questions from Facebook and I'm going to answer them for you today. The first question I have is, what do you do as far as your track workout when the weather gets bad? Well, if it's snowy and it's really, really cold, then I'll take the track workout inside and just do sprints on the treadmill and plyos in between. But for the most part, we try to still go to the track even if it's cold. We just bundle up really good, wear a lot of extra layers. I start on the bleachers so that by the time we get to the track, we're warm so we don't sprint and increase our risk for injury. So you got to take a little bit more time to make sure your muscles are warm before you go full out when it's cold outside. But obviously, you're not going to go quite as fast as you would in the summer. So just be careful. If it's too cold, you can still get a great workout inside. What are your top 3 shoulder exercises? Well, this is easy because shoulders is my favorite muscle group to train. I would say dumbbell shoulder press, dumbbell lateral raises, and then any type of rear deltoid exercise. So I like to go on the pec deck, which is basically a chest fly machine, but you face the other way so that you start with your hands together and then you bring your hands out to work the back of the shoulder. Nicole, my legs, thighs in particular, have always been my worst feature. If I lift weight, they get bigger and yet still remain chunky and some cellulite. I watch what I eat and exercise 6 times a week. What routine would you suggest for leaning and toning my thighs? Thank you. Well, when you lift weights, if you have thick legs, I wouldn't really recommend lifting super heavy. I would do a large circuit, so pick anywhere from 6 to 10 different exercises and keep your repetitions high, so 15 to 20, and just go one exercise to another and do rounds of like four rounds altogether with a couple minute break in between each round. The higher volume will prevent your legs from growing a whole lot, and it'll increase your heart rate. It'll burn a lot of calories in a short period of time. As far as your cardio, maybe increase the intensity. You burn more fat instead of just walking if that's what you're doing, or keeping the intensity low. Definitely kick up the intensity. Really, really watch your diet, because if you gain weight, that's where it's going to go first. And if you lose weight, that's where it's going to come off last. So unfortunately, that's a tough area for a lot of women, but hopefully the circuits, the large circuits, will help out a lot. The next question is, I'm confused. What is the proper way to do a squat? Either with weight or just body weight. I've been told different ways. Well, I'm not really sure which ways you've been told, but the proper way to do a squat is to stand with your feet either narrow, like all the way together, shoulder width apart, or wide leg. All your weight is on your heels, so your toes are, they're barely, there's no pressure on the ball of your feet. All your weight is on your heels. And you're going to sit back like you would sit into a chair until your hips are about parallel to your knees. You don't want your knees to go over your toes, so you want to really sit back, keeping a slight arch in your lower back and keeping your chest up. So, it's just all the way down to parallel and then standing back up, driving through the heels. So I don't really know what other way there is, but that's the way that I would recommend it. I actually did a fit tip on the proper way to do a squat a couple weeks ago. So if you check out the fitnessrxmag.com website, you'll see under the Fit Life fit tip that I did on how to perform a squat. And the last question I have is, what are the best headbands you have found that don't slip in your hair when you are lifting? Well, the trick is to get the no slip grip headbands. They actually have a rubber lining in the inside of the headband, and I always hairspray my hair first, and while the hairspray is still dry, I put the headband on, and it stays in place and doesn't move all day. So get the no slip grip, use hairspray first. So that's all I have for this week. Until next time, keep asking your questions on Facebook. I'll be back every Friday to answer your questions for you, and keep living the fit life.